Hey bro, it's Nav here. We're in Las Vegas. We just finished the boot camp. One of the best boot camps we've ever done. And next to me, I've got one of the best dating coaches and masculinity coaches in the world to give you guys an amazing tip on South American girls and how to set boundaries, how to get the attraction to the next level. We've got Mr. C here, Silver Fox, and you live in Colombia. So that's why we're going to be giving you guys this incredible piece of content with Latinos, obviously.
Guys, if you want to be dating absolute stunning, feminine Latina women, this is something vital that you have to learn. Setting boundaries with women is something you have to learn to date pretty much any woman, but the more feminine she is, and Latinas tend to be probably, in my opinion, the most feminine women in the entire world. You know, you could say maybe Eastern Europeans. I've never been there.
Yeah. They actually are. They are very feminine, similar to Latinos.
Slightly different form of femininity. Even Persian women.
Oh yeah,
there's a similar
yeah, totally. I think actually, sorry to cut you off. Actually, Persians, they're very similar to Latinos because they're more like, as you said, they're more emotional. It's like, you know, that flirtatious chat you do in Spanish. It's the same in Persian, but Eastern Europe's is slightly different.
A little cooler. you're
more like they're cold, and you're just to the point. It's like da da da.
For me, like, I'm with Alexa now and fucking love that girl a bits. Absolutely stunning little sweetheart. But one thing you gotta learn, you gotta get your shit together before you get into a relationship with a girl. You gotta learn how to set boundaries, because most guys, what they do, well, we're gonna do a video right now on how to set boundaries with women, kind of the same as the last one that we did, and also how to admit that you're wrong when you realize that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Those are the two key points. And so, first, how to set boundaries. Don't get pissed off at women because they test your boundaries. This is their job. Their job is to help you grow your masculinity. They're like your, I don't know, your training coach when you go to the gym. If you go to the gym and your training coach says to you, like, come on, put in another 10 reps. You can do 10 more reps. You don't get pissed off at the guy and be like, fuck you, motherfucker, I'm done. I don't want to do more reps. Imagine, like, what's your point in paying a bodybuilding coach or gym coach or whatever if that's your attitude toward your coach? Obviously, when your coach says to you, give me 20 more reps, you do it because that's what you're paying them for, right? That's kind of the same idea with women. They'll never pay women, but it's the same sort of view that you should have of how femininity works. Her job is to point out your weaknesses so that you can grow as a man. And she does that largely by testing you. Always testing, because she wants to be with a masculine man that she can feel safe with. You don't need to feel insecure about the fact that she tests you. It's fine. She likes you, right? She wouldn't be with you if she didn't like you.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I don't know if you remember, in the seminar, one of the guys was like, I really struggle with shit tests.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to say, obviously, you know, I think who was doing the seminar? It was someone else. And I wanted to say, bro, just relax. That means she likes you, right?
Yeah.
That means she's testing you because she's sexually attracted to you.
It's a good thing. You know, we could do a whole nother video on shit tests too. That's a good idea. But when she tests your boundary, it's because she wants to see. It's the same as children. Women are not children, but it's a similar concept. You know, the child's going to test you on their bedtime but I don't want to eat my peas, and whatever children do. I don't know about that, but they constantly test your boundaries. And as a good parent, you have to be setting boundaries. No, you have to go to bed at 10 o'clock or whatever, right? Now, obviously, women are different than children. That's not my point. But my point is, women do that same behavior of testing you.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to go to that restaurant. I want to go to a more expensive one. Or I don't want, can you buy me this? Or can you whatever, right? And most guys, because they're weak, most guys don't want to set that boundary because they're in a feminine mindset and they don't want to be confrontational.
No, you're totally right. Because even with guys, like, when you lead other guys, there's always one of the guys that will test you.
Totally.
Right?
Or in the seminar. In the seminar, we had 15 students or whatever it was, right? And you're going to have one of those students starts testing, and another one starts testing. And
one of the biggest tests we've ever had in a seminar.
Yeah, just to see, like, who's leading, who's steering the ship here.
Yeah,
you know
actually, it was really funny because obviously we wanted to change their life, and we were doing a pitch on another program that's had amazing, incredible results with some of the guys and completely changed their dating lives. And then this guy turns around and goes, "Oh, are you like one of these salesmen that says I'm not a salesman, but?"
Oh yeah. Because one of the guys that we were working with, that's what he said. He's like, I'm not really good in sales, but you know, in my opinion, blah 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 blah. And he did a good soft pitch, right? And the guy responded like that. That was so funny.
And it was, and that was the same situation. And the person that was doing the seminar handled it so well that if I was in the crowd, I'll be like, I want to buy this. I really want to buy this, because this guy, he just didn't crumble under pressure.
And you have to recognize the point of the moment was not, why did you say that? You shouldn't have said that. The point was, the guy said that, now how do you respond in a masculine way without blaming the guy that he shouldn't have said that? And that's what most guys do with women. Like, she asks you, oh, can you buy me these shoes? Don't get mad at her that she asked you that. You look at it like, oh, I have a great opportunity to practice setting a boundary. And then my own opinion would be, don't buy her the fucking shoes, because you don't want to be a sugar daddy, especially if you're twice her age, right? So you have to set the boundary appropriately, but not let it knock you out of your frame and be like, what a bitch. No, you just simply say, you're adorable. Come on, I'm taking you for a coffee, and then go for a $2 coffee, or whatever you had in mind that you wanted to do.
Yeah. So
right?
so the main point here is, don't get reactive. It's you just relax, right? Whenever it has you smile, right? Smile and laugh. I think a joke is really good, isn't it?
Yeah. Like roll off to the side and move on, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's a couple ways you could react, right? Number one, you could react like you said, defensively. What the fuck? I brought you here, and you know, we've already had a $20 dinner or whatever. Why are you not satisfied? Why do you always want more? And you could get pissy at her because she's feminine. Or you could cave. You could be like, oh my God, she's so hot, and we're gonna have sex, and she's the most gorgeous girl I've ever met, and she leads you around like a puppy and whatever, right? Or you could be quiet and do it and be resentful, and then hate her after and be like, what a bitch, she used me for money. Or you could do what we recommend, which is just recognize, oh, it's really cute, she's testing my boundaries. And then it's an opportunity to display to her, don't worry, sweetheart, I got this under control. Set the boundary, and then don't continue in the same frame of mind and be like, you're so adorable. That's the way I usually respond to stuff with a girl. I'll be like, oh my God, you're adorable. No, we're not going there. Besides, if you want a guy to buy you a bunch of shoes and stuff like that, you're smoking hot. I'm sure you've got like 10 guys lined up that would buy you whatever you want. But I'm going to give you something that those guys don't have, which is an incredible understanding of how to be around women and masculine. And I'm going to let you have a bunch of masculine energy today. You know, and that's something that she can't buy. Right?
Yeah. No, I think the one you said about how to like deal with kids, I think that's a great example, because my nephews, they always fuck around.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm never just going to be like, start shouting at them and be like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. You know, I just laugh it off and say, oh, you know, this is, you shouldn't be doing that, you know?
Imagine if you responded that way with a kid. Like you've got an 8-year-old nephew that's with you for the day, and he says, but I don't want to do whatever. I don't want to clean my room. And you responded to him, how dare you test my boundary, you little prick? Like you're grounded. What's wrong with you? You're like
people
he's
will
an
think you're
8-year-old
crazy.
kid.
People will think like you're crazy.
There's nothing
Sometimes
wrong
I
with
actually
him.
see that.
That's what he's supposed to be doing. Imagine if he wasn't acting up the odd time. You'd be like, are you healthy? Should I shake you?
Yeah. And sometimes you see that, like parents doing that, and it's like that's when they're out of control.
Yeah.
That's when they've lost control of the kids.
Yeah, the kids steering the ship, and the parents along for it. Right?
Yeah.
You see the same thing. I used to have a wolf, and you see the same type of thing. It's like when you have an animal that's testing you. Again, women are not animals. Women are not children. I love women. There's no misogyny here. Feminine women, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
But you have to understand they're very different than us as masculine men. And part of their nature is to test boundaries and see who's the boss, right?
Totally.
And if you're not setting boundaries in a healthy way, she'll run you all around the ship. And the more feminine she is, and the higher up she is in the social dating, in the dating pool, the higher her status is, the more beautiful, the more feminine, the younger, the better her body, whatever. If you're not setting boundaries, if you haven't learned that skill, and then you meet this incredible woman, she's gonna run you around like it's happened to me in the past. It's happened to you, right? Where you're like, afterwards you realize, holy shit, that girl like totally owned me and destroyed me.
Yeah.
And it was my fault.
Oh, totally.
It wasn't her fault
Totally.
for testing. It was my fault for like, didn't set a boundary, didn't set a boundary, didn't set a boundary, didn't set a boundary.
Totally.
And then like on number 10, oh, that sucked, right?
Yeah. I think I had kind of a good upbringing in terms of this masculinity, because Persians, usually the man is very masculine. Obviously, difference there's difference between, you know, family to family. But my dad, he was extremely masculine, and my mom was very feminine. So I actually learned this from you know, at a young age, where I could see how my dad handled different situations, and that was really good for me because naturally I do that with people, and obviously I've learned it as well. Where with, you know, as you mentioned, with experience you can actually learn, and yeah, and the best way to do that, by the way, is when a situation like that happens and you make a mistake. Don't panic. Don't worry about it. It's a learning experience, even if you lose the girl.
Huge.
What I would suggest is sit down, pen and paper, and actually think clearly what you could have done differently. You know, what you did well, what you did wrong, and how to actually do it next time.
And how you felt through it. Like if you felt something in your gut, or you felt like you were being controlled, or you felt disrespected, or you felt whatever, right? Your feelings will often be a cue as well. Like, yeah, you weren't setting a boundary, and that's why you felt bitter, resentful, angry. Those are like symptoms of poor behavior. And that's a good point you mentioned about your father. And most guys don't have that. I didn't have that. And so I began learning about masculine and femininity when I was like 35 through Mexican culture, right? That's how you set boundaries with women. That makes you look fucking sexy and masculine in their eyes. It's a good thing. And being tested on that builds your masculinity out. So it makes you stronger. She's helping you become stronger and more attractive. It's not a bad thing. So if guys are in the UK or in Europe or whatever, they want to check out more of your content, learn more about how to date Eastern European women, that sort of thing, or they're close to you and they jive with some of the stuff in the video, how do they find you? Authentic Charm? No, Authentic Attraction?
AuthenticAttraction.co.
Okay.
That's
.co, not .com.
Yeah,
the link will be below.
.co. And yeah, it was a great pleasure doing this video with you. If the guys, you know, from my channel want to find you, it's you said it was
uppertier.club. If you're really attracted to stunning feminine Latina women, I'm based in Colombia. If you're on this side of the pond, we do boot camps all the time.
Yeah, guys, I would totally recommend doing the masculinity coaching. So you offer masculinity coaching, and yeah, it will be. I think a lot of guys, especially in the Western world, need this right now.
Huge, man, huge. It's such a good investment because it pays dividends in all areas of your life, not just with women. You make more in your job. Your business will be better successful. You'll have better boundaries with clients. Masculinity is the fucking secret sauce, man.
Oh, totally. And that's what I was saying about leadership, because that's what masculinity is. It's good leadership. When I think about when I was in the corporate world, the best leaders, they were extremely masculine. You know, as soon as you stepped in the wrong direction, they were like, that, you know, what you did was wrong.
Fuck, this is another good video topic, man.
Well, there we go. That's another
we gotta
video
wrap
we're
this
gonna
up.
do.
That is another good fucking video.
We'll see you soon, man. Before
Take
we
care,
do
guys.
that, let's check out the view.